Welcome to the April 29th, 2023 edition of 284 News. I am Jacko Whitting, bringing you our top stories from this week. Thank you so much for joining us. After a successful night at the polls on Monday, April 24th, 2023, Premier Dr. the Honorable Natalio Wheatley and his Virgin Islands Party comrades were sworn in as members of the government on Tuesday, April 25th. This was made possible by the decision of at-large Representative-elect Lorna Smith to align herself with the Virgin Islands Party, giving the VIP administration the 7-seat majority required to assume government. In a brief swearing-in ceremony, it was revealed that Premier Wheatley had appointed Mrs. Smith to be Deputy Premier of the incoming government. Additionally, both Premier and Deputy will hold ministries. It was also revealed at the time that Honorable Kai Reimer, Honorable Sherry De Castro, and Honorable Vincent Wheatley will be cabinet ministers, while Honorable Luce Hart Smith and Dr. the Honorable Carl Dawson will be junior ministers. The swearing-in of the leader of the opposition took place on Thursday and was revealed as Honorable Ronnie Skelton. In other news, Chairman of the National Democratic Party, Honorable Marlon Penn, has cleared the air following the decision of Honorable Lorna Smith to align with the Virgin Islands Party government, stating that she had acted unilaterally, unbeknownst to him and the other members of his party. Penn addressed members of the media during a press conference on Thursday, following what many have termed to be a shocking move by Smith. Penn said Smith's decision single-handedly uprooted the plans of the NDP, the Progressive Virgin Islands Movement, and the Progressive United Party to form a coalition government.
A time for all three of us to meet and concretize a way forward and sign off in terms of moving forward as a government. While those discussions were being had, a decision was made, as we learned during those discussions, that a decision was made by Lorna Smith, Honorable Lorna Smith, to form an alliance with the Virgin Islands Party. I want to make it very clear to the public that at no time was this discussed in terms of what the decision was made with her. That was a unilateral decision that was made, not a decision that was made of the party. Suggestions was made in the initial stages of our discussion concerning a possible alliance. We said that that is not the direction that we wanted to go at the time. We said that we will sit down, and we made a decision as an organization that we will sit down, have a discussion with the Progressive PVIM and with the PU, and a decision was made that all three leaders would sit down, discuss, and come back to the table. And that was upended with a unilateral decision that was made by Lorna Smith to move forward and form an alliance with the Virgin Islands Party.
Penn also said that steps will be taken to officially remove Smith from the NDP, adding that her decision to form an alliance using the NDP's affiliation is not supported by him or any other members of the party.
Her decision to form an alliance in the name of the party is not representative of the party. The party brass met last evening, and we made a decision that we're going to move forward and move steps forward to have her removed as a member of the organization. And the formal process will be done. It does not represent a coalition with the National Democratic Party and the Virgin Islands Party, and I want to make that clear to the public.
Providing a perspective on the impact of Smith's decision on the electorate, Penn said voters felt betrayed as they voted for Smith on the vision of the National Democratic Party.
I agree with the issue of betrayal. The issue of the betrayal is very clear. We had a party meeting last night, and it was evident on the faces and from the voices of the many persons that express their displeasure, their dissatisfaction with the decision that was made by Lorna Smith, Honorable Lorna Smith. And the voters were betrayed. The persons voted on the basis of our vision, on the basis of our campaign that we exposes to the voters that, look, we are running an anti-corruption, anti-maladministration campaign. We are not in any way running to support what has happened to this country over the last 4 years. And the people bought in and identified with that message. So the issue of betrayal is real. I heard it from the many voices, the many messages that I've gotten over the last couple of days, last 16 to 18 hours that I've gotten of persons who have said to me that I will never vote again. The first time I've ever voted, I feel betrayed. That you came to me, you showed me a vision, you told me that these are the things that you want to do for us in the country and this is the direction we're going, and this happened.
Viewers, with that, we take a quick commercial break. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Rashford made it. Manchester United have come from behind to lead.
At home or on the go, watch CCT Live. Download our app and carry your favorite TV shows, news, or live sports anywhere you go. Visit cctvvi.com/live, select your package, and tune in.
Andy, turns out I'm allergic to the Australian veggie spread.
Ooh, thankfully CG will cover you anywhere in the world. Remember when I went to Australia for my title fight? Trust me when I say you do not want to get in the ring with a kangaroo. It wasn't until my victory dinner with the Sultan that I realized top shelf caviar doesn't agree with me. But I was covered. Anyway, I gotta go. I'm teaching your cousin how to use a flamethrower. Woohoo!
Medical cover anywhere in the world. CG Insurance. Good like that.
Today, I am doing Gov't treatments with Beyond the Reef. Today, we are doing shark research. So today, we are doing whale research with Beyond the Reef. And wherever I go, I take CCT with me because my life is unlimited.
Looks like Johnny's ex-girlfriend finally found my car.
You've got CG. You're fine. I'll never forget the year those monkeys stole my car. They drove it over a cliff, burned the seats, and carved the words pineapple banana smoothie into all the doors. And that was after they used it for the bank heist. I don't blame them. It's their favorite smoothie, and I refuse to share the recipe.
No deductible for theft, malicious damage, and more. CG Insurance. Good like that.
Welcome back and thank you so much for staying with us. Talk show host Claude Skelton Cline is casting blame on District 3 elect Honorable Julian Fraser for his role in the failure of a coalition government being formed in the territory. On Tuesday, he called out the former opposition leader, stating that he completely overplayed his hand during discussions between the National Democratic Party, the Progressive Virgin Islands Movement, and his Progressives United.
Julian Fraser completely overplayed his hand. Completely. Selfishly. But in his own mind, I suspect he thought he was doing the right thing. Not sure for who. But overplayed his hand because the PVIM and PU came to this country and said that we have endorsed each other. We have a commitment that at the end of this all, we will work together. And whether or not they had worked out what working together meant, clearly, Julian, the member of the 3rd District, overplayed, overreached his hand, and they were unable to form a government that could have been formed shortly after the election was called on last evening.
Cline said that the three political parties had one simple job of coming together to bring change to the territory, but failed at achieving that goal.
You had 3 from the National Democratic Party. Was it 3? Honorable Marlon Penn, Myron Walwyn, Lorna Smith, right? On the PVIM, Ronnie W. Skelton, Stacey Mater, Melvin Mitch Turnbull. 3-3. and then you had Julian Fraser from the PU. All you had to do was form the government. That's all you had to do. Now, in the first instant, what happened?
Cline stressed that egos should have been put aside for the betterment of the territory. He further claimed that Fraser's deal was to be Premier of the Virgin Islands or nothing at all.
That I'm encouraging those 7 people to check their egos at the door, to be emotionally sober as they deliberate and then ultimately decide what this government should look like. And the member of the 3rd District overreach in being or wanting to be and choosing a position of wanting to be Premier of the country or nothing at all. And you know, sometimes when you hear about things, you say, "Oh, that." But sometimes when you hear about things and you see some things up close, you say, "My God!" Just when you think you've seen it all.
Cline said that Fraser's quest for power resulted in him maintaining it for a short period of 6 hours. Instead of 4 years, had he compromised on his stance to have an alliance between the 3 parties to form a coalition government.
You can't believe some of this stuff. That Julian Fraser had an opportunity to be a part of a government, hold a ministry, after sitting in opposition for some 12 to 16 years now, and by God, power right in his hand, and allow it to slip from his hand in 6 hours. For 6 hours, Julian Fraser held power. And because could not be emotionally sober enough and choose to sit in a position of power to empower for the next 4 years, he was satisfied with just holding it for 6 hours instead of 4 years. Now, you explain that to me. You tell me why the people in the 3rd District, you tell me why this country shouldn't be mad as hell and frustrated and dismayed.
3rd District-elect and Chairman of Progressives United, Honorable Julian Fraser, is predicting that the 5th House of Assembly will have more than one motion of no confidence being brought against the Virgin Islands Party government. He was at the time responding to questions posed by the media on how the 6-member opposition intends to keep the majority government to account during sittings of the House of Assembly.
No, I don't think it changed the dynamics as far as votes are concerned. It's going to be almost impossible for us to sway a member of the government to vote with us. But I could tell you whatever the issue is that we're debating, it's going to be very difficult for the government to move it forward with the kind of opposition it will receive. I don't see any challenge coming from the government side as far as the health of a debate is concerned, opposition versus government. What I can predict right now is that you're going to see not one, but more than one, probably 2, motion of no confidence coming before the House, the 5th House of Assembly. I can predict that. It's going to happen. And the debate is going to be vigorous, embarrassing, it's going to be everything. It's going to be a lot of, that House, you know, the last time, Ronnie, last time we had 6 members in the opposition was when you guys came in '99. You guys harassed the hell out of us. But now you are new. Now you got veterans now in the 6th House. I wouldn't like to be in the government right now, unless, of course, I was a premier.
Chairman of the National Democratic Party, Honorable Marlon Penn, shared similar sentiments to Fraser, adding that the combined more than 6 decades of experience in the opposition will ensure that no shortcuts are taken by the VIP government in the House of Assembly.
You have, like I said earlier, you have over 60 years of experience in the House, sitting around this table. Members 24, Honorable Warren is 8, myself 12, the member is 16, and Honorable Turnbull 8. You do the maths. And it speaks to a very vigorous process in terms of scrutinizing the process moving forward. We're going to make sure that all the I's are dotted and the T's are crossed. And we have to make sure that the people of this country get transparency, full transparency, accountability in the process. I believe that we have an opportunity for the first time to have the Public Accounts Committee work the way it should work, to ensure that we get the resources in place to ensure that committee functions and we can scrutinize the accounts of government in a way that brings clarity to the public and to the people in terms of where their finances are being spent, how it's being spent, and ensure that persons who are mismanaging the resources of this territory are held to account.
Meanwhile, Leader of the Opposition, Honorable Ronnie Skelton, said he will ensure that all his opposition colleagues are kept well informed in a transparent manner and one that benefits the people of the territory.
All my colleagues, regardless of what party they're in, they will be totally informed on all the issues. There are provisions in different laws that the Leader of Opposition will have access to information, and all of my colleagues will have access to that same level of information. And like my 2 colleagues said, PU and NDP, we will make sure all the systems are transparent and the government is held to account for everything. The budgeting process, everything. You know, in the past, I watched a few of the budget exercises. You know, it's just a farce. Before it was not. We used to go through the budget line by line, explain to the public what each one of these things mean. Now it doesn't happen. And you get debate for 15 minutes for a budget of $400 million. That can happen again.
We have more news after this quick word from our sponsors. Stay with us.
Yo, everything good, Dad?
Aye. This thing got me one way, Daddy.
What you mean?
Ever since I hook up with this thing, I can't eat, I can't sleep. This is the first thing I touch it when I reach home.
What you really? Hey, this ain't like you, you know.
Dad, this thing got me staying home, keeping out of trouble me.
Wow. What your name is?
Shit. I talk about my CCT life.
Don't worry about missing your favorite series, sports, news, and local programming. Come to CCT today and sign up for CCT Live to access over 80 channels. CCT Live. Bring it home.
1 month free trial turn into 5. 5 months turn into, well, you know I huff. I watching ball. I been watching football. Dad, Nickelodeon, Paw Patrol. I am hooked. Hook, I tell you.
There goes my new car. Guess I'm back on my bike.
Your bike? CG offers new car replacement. Remember my monster truck days? Well, one night I attempted a 50-foot pogo double backflip. I landed it and went to karaoke. It wasn't until afterward that my car got hit by that fisherman. He gave me some great mahi-mahi though. Anyway, they paid fast and got me in a new car. Now call a cab. I want you to meet my alpaca guy.
New car replacement for the first year of ownership. CG Insurance. Good like that.
Yep, that's me. You're probably wondering how I got here. My name is Kamal Haynes. Most of you know me from 284 News, but now you get to see me in a different light on my very own show called Health is Wealth. We have Joel Turnbull.
I don't want you to arch your back when you're pulling down.
Milton McLean.
First of all, right, your footwork.
Stephen Payne.
That was a 9 out of 10. I know you got the service down pat.
Steve Augustine.
You did a pretty hard workout today, so perhaps...
And as you can see, it's actually
you're feeling it.
Alonzo Boynes.
Taekwondo.
Adam Morrows.
I'll speak as if you're an absolute beginner.
I am an absolute beginner.
You are an absolute beginner.
And Seth Graham.
It bites. It will bite.
Get your water, get your fruits and veggies, and experience a wealth of knowledge about getting healthy.
Angie, how can I get my claims paid quick? Rent's due next week.
CG processes 99% of claims within 5 days. Remember when I was hang gliding with those goats? I caught a gust of wind and flew right into a moving car. Every appendage was in the cast, and they paid fast and fairly. That's what I get for trusting a man with a mustache and an eye patch. Now I gotta go. I'm meeting the guy who bedazzled my toes.
99% of claims are processed within 5 days. CG Insurance. Good like that.
Welcome back and thank you so much for staying with us. At the beginning of the week, voters caught up with our team as they went out to the polls to exercise their democratic rights. They shared their views on the election process and what they would like to see come out of the new government. Here that is.
Very important. I think all elections are important, and but you know, it's very important that we vote. So I wouldn't really specify that, you know, one is more important than the next, because in each cycle situations change, and so as voters we have to be able to lend our voice to the process.
Critical is just as critical as any other election, but we have, as you know, we have the Order in Council hovering over the country. We have investigations going on of political figures. And we have, in my opinion, we have a frustrated electorate. So it's a very unpredictable time.
It's very important because the Virgin Islands is at a crossroads right now, and depending on which government is put in power, then, you know, it can impact the country's future significantly.
To be honest, I think the election itself is a good thing for democracy and what's not. It's a good thing for the people, but you know, elections are one and the same. The BVI is a very small place. All the people who are running for government right now, I'm pretty sure all of them know each other. All of them grew up to each other and they know each other, so you know, it's a very slippery slope that we have to contend with. But I think it is still important, you know, let the people have their right to say what they have to say. You know, I do feel confident going in there and putting my markers on, and hopefully, like, you know, the decisions I made resonated as well along with the rest of the people of the Virgin Islands.
I think it may very well be one of the most important elections in our history. I won't get into too many of the reasons why, because we're all aware, but very, very important, and I'm glad that I'm playing a part.
I personally think that this is the most important elections for the Virgin Islands in recent times. This is my first time voting. And I think because of the stakes and the political, the way that politics is right now in the BVI and the way our country or territory is going, I think that this is, you know, a pivotal moment for the territory. So I think very important, if not the most important.
Okay.
Now viewers, that is all for today's news roundup. Be sure to follow us for daily news updates at 284media.com. Like us on Facebook at 284media and 284BVI on Instagram and Twitter. I'm Jacko Winning and I will see you again next week. So have yourself a safe and enjoyable weekend. Goodbye.
Father Jesus, that line here long like church service.
Alright, do enjoy the rest of the day. Next customer line, please. Wait, hold on a second.
Yes, Sonny boy, come, yes,
Good
son.
morning.
Good morning, Sonny boy. Over there. You must have cut front of people.
It's okay, I'll take care of it.
What? No man to take care of me.
How may I assist you?
Yes.
You want top of power?
You want top of power?
Join the prepaid party with CCT and enjoy more affordable data plans, more top-up promotions, more savings with hero bundles, and more value for your money each and every Tuesday with Top Up Turn Up Tuesday. Visit a CCT store today or anywhere CCT Top Up is sold and top up your phone.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. You want top up or what?
So you're saying I can ask this cat any question?
The cat is connected to the computer. You just type in the question, it will read his mind. There the answer comes.
You're the man! I've been looking for this for weeks.